Hello everyone, this is Suresh from Azure ADB. Today our topic is how to filter array of struct using PySpark. So what is our syntax? We have filter and inside filter we have to mention expression. Expression is array of expression. And what is function? Lambda function we have to use. And we'll see first with a SQL example. So here what I have filter, and inside that I am creating one array. So array of these elements. So that is our expression. Next, what is our function? That is lambda function. Lambda function is x to x and condition is not null. So this lambda function, if you are familiar with Python, then you'll have some idea about this. So here, what is x is, what is x is elements of this array. So what it does is this lambda function, it will iterate each element. Okay, so first x means first element of array, that is 0. 0 is not null. Okay, so since 0 is not null, it will print here. What about 1? 1 also, it is not null. 1, it is coming here. So what it does is it will check each every element. Since we have two nulls, it will skip these two nulls and it will print all non-null values. That is this one, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is the use of this lambda function to iterate. Okay, so we'll see one more example. So here I'm creating first one array using these elements, and I have x to x and percent 2 is equal to 1. So that means each element of this array, it will do module, and if that remainder is equal to 1, then it will print here. If you see here, first it will create array. Okay, so array of these elements. Then it will check one by one. First it will check with 1. If you see here, no, this is our expression, and x, it represents each element of the array, and x percent 2. So x percent 2 is equal to 1. So what is our x first element? 1. If it is 1% 2 is equal to 1, then it will print here. So normally whenever we'll use modular operator, and if remainder is equal to 1, then it will print here. So normally these values will be odd numbers, okay, odd values. So like this, it will check here. So since odd values, no, so it will print only odd values from here. Okay, so it skipping even numbers. And if you change this condition, no, is equal to 1 is there, no. If you try to change to 0, then it will print even numbers. And we'll see one more example. So here I have array, and I have elements of 0, 2, 3, and here condition is x comma I and 2, x is greater than I. So what it mean here, x is elements of array, each element of array, and what is I? It represents index of the element in the array. That means first element is 1. So what is the respective index? 0. And second element is 2. What is the index of this? 1. And third element we have 3. What is the index? 2. So it will check x greater than I. That means first element is 0. If you see here, first element is 0. That means x is greater than I. What is the index of 0? 0. So this is false. Then it won't print here. And what is our second element? 2. And what is the index? 1. 2 is greater than 1. That is 2. Then it will print here. And third element is 3. and the respective index is 2. So 3 greater than 2. Since it is true, so finally it will print only 2 and 3. So this is about a basic idea about how to use filter function using lambda. Now we'll see by creating one data frame. So before that, I'm calling required functions here. So this is my data frame. So here name I defined as string type, and age I defined as integer, and experience as integer type. Okay, so by using this, I'm creating data frame. If you observe here, array and again array and individual structures. And if you see here, see array, first is array, next is second map, and inside this map, we have key value pair, both we have string type. So initially you will get like this. Your output will be like this. So you can see this first is array, no? So we have square bracket and map. So we have flower bracket, and inside that we have key value pair. This key value is string type. If you try to expand this, see all these 5 structures, no? Whatever we defined here, these 5 structures we are getting here. So now what is our target is, so we want to filter these 5 structures based on some condition. So what is our condition? We want to filter age greater than 30. So in this, what are the structures we have age greater than 30? So that is this one, 35, year 32, 45, 55. So that means these 4 structures we should get output. So here how we are dealing is to filter this array to include only the structs where age is greater than 30. So we are using expression function. So what is the syntax? Expression filter, and inside that column name. So on which column we want to perform. So here I given person to person. So this you can mention anything. So here I mentioned X, no? Here X to X. Okay, so similar way you can mention here also X to X instead of person. Okay, so person dot age greater than 30. This is my condition. Okay, what it does is it applies the filter function on the people array column. So what it does, it returns only those structs where the age field is greater than 30. So here what I'm doing, I'm using on top of this data frame, I'm using with column, and I'm defining some column name, and I'm using this function expression and filter. This is column name. This is my column name, and X to X. You can mention anything, either X person, anything you can mention. So X to X dot age greater than 30. And if you run this, and if you see here, this is our initial, this is our source data frame. Okay, so, and if you check with filtered one, if you try to expand this, see we are getting only 4. Okay, so it not considering this 25 and 30. We are getting only these 4. So that means whichever structures have age greater than 30, we are getting here. So this how you can use this filter, and you can see the difference regarding our normal filter. So normally we have filter, no, on data frame level. So df dot filter, what it does is it filter the rows in a data frame. Okay, data frame level, it will filter rows. But what this expression does is this, by using lambda function, this expression especially used for filtering elements within an array or array column of data frame. That means array of structs. If you want to filter array of structs, then we will use this expression. And now we'll see one more example. See, I'm creating a data frame like this. And if you closely observe, my first struct is this one. I have key value pair. And if you see, there are some names, serial ID. And here I given sales ID and make ID, vehicle ID. So I have different ID names. Okay, so in this, I want to filter. Uh, First, I want to filter this one, only sales ID. These are data frame. First, we'll create the data frame, then we'll discuss. If you see here, we have key value pair now. So key I'm defined as string type, and this value key and this value I'm defining as Boolean type. So if you see here, no, see these are all Boolean type. Okay, so this one. So all values have Boolean type. So and before that I'm defining array type. So this is array type, and inside that we have struct type. Okay, so this first I've defined a schema for this, and I'm creating with one column that is called person, and this is my data frame. If you try to expand this, see I have this many structs, no? So it printing as rows. So inside this, I have total 11 structs. Okay, so in these 11 structs, I want to filter serial ID. This one has one separate column, and make ID, sales ID, vehicle ID. These three as one column. So for this, what I'm doing, I'm using source data frame, select statement, and additionally I'm printing current underscore timestamp and expression current user. So if you see this one current timestamp, it printing current timestamp value today timestamp, and this is my username, and on top of that this is my first condition. What is our expression, and inside that filter, and I want to apply on person column x to x dot key is equal to serial ID of 0 value. So that means x dot key means, see here we have key value pair. So x dot key means this one. Okay, x dot key, and what is there is equal to serial ID. First it will check how many serial IDs are there. So here we have one ID, year one, year one. Okay, so total three we have, but I want only first value. So that's why I given index. So from this key, I want first index, that is this one, and dot value, and this relevant value. So this I want. Okay, this value I want. So since we have Boolean type, no, this one. So here we defined Boolean type. All value we define Boolean type. So here what I'm doing, I'm changing to string type. Okay, and I given alias serial underscore ID. And the second condition, in this filter condition, I'm using array contains. Array contains inside array. And what it does is array and these elements. So first what it creates one array of these three elements with these three elements. On top of that, I am using array underscore contain, and I am using x dot key. So that means x dot key means over here what is x? This one. Okay. So x dot key. So first it will iterate one by one. Okay. For in this first, what is first x? This one key, x dot key. This one, if this one serial ID, very first one, if it is contains in this array, what we have? Serial ID. So we don't have serial ID in this. So then it won't, it ignores that. Next, second element, what is there? Sales ID is there. Sales ID we have in this array elements. So it considers this one. So first print this one structure. Okay. And next it will go for second next iteration. That is make ID. X dot key means make ID. So we have make ID. So then it will consider this also. So as of now, these two it will consider. Next, if you go next iteration, this one vehicle ID. Vehicle ID we have, yes, in this we have vehicle ID. Then these three it will consider. That means wherever we have sales ID, make ID, vehicle ID, it is there. Those structs it will consider. So that means as of now these three, and next what we have sales make ID. Okay, here one sales ID is there. Okay, so these many things it will print here. So we separated with two separate columns, no, serial underscore ID and person. If you try to run this is our output. See, first one, this one, we are directly using serial ID. We want to filter serial ID from this. Since we given index 0, so it will print only one value. So that is very first one. Okay, x dot key of 0 index and this relevant value. That is this one. It will print this one. And this third one that is this one. This we discussed, no? So if you try to expand this, you'll understand. See, it filtering whatever we have here, no? Sales ID, make ID, vehicle ID. So only these things it filtering. So we checked here, no? Total 4 we have. So these 3 and this last one. So only these keys it will print here. So remaining and all it ignoring. So we have total 11. In total 11, it we are getting only 4. Okay, that 4 matching to these things. Okay, so this how you can filter array of structs. Okay, so that's all about this video. If you really like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.